Hello there, my beautiful YouTube family and friends. A warm welcome to you all. I hope you're well and having a fantastic day. So today we made BANKU and tilapia, party style, for 4 families, about 15 to 20 people. So this is bulk cooking, which takes a whole different dimension. So I'd like you to stick around and watch how I put it all together. The food is already cooked and I am heading right now to Kwanchewa's home, who is my Onyawa, my sister. She has a YouTube channel called Kwanchewa's Kitchen. She also is putting a feast together. I can't wait to get there. Now the idea is to go and exchange our dishes, all right? Because as you all know, we cannot get together and party like the way we should with all that's going on in the world right now. So stick around with me and watch the video and see how I put it all together. Enjoy the process. And as you all know, tilapia needs a lot of good seasoning and aromatics for it to stand out, make a good impression, and more importantly, taste good. So I have some jalapeno chilies. I am removing the seeds because other people are going to eat this. I have to keep that in mind. Not everybody can take as much spicy food as I can. I also have some rosemary, garlic, onions, and I just added some spring onions followed by my ginger, which I have sliced against the strands of the ginger so it blends smoothly. I've also added aquiliwabi or red Thai chilies. I love the flavor in here. I'm drizzling some extra virgin olive oil onto this because we're going to put this in the oven for it to roast to maximize the flavors, because the sugars release and become caramelized, which takes the flavors up quite a few notches. I have added some salt. Obviously you need salt when you're going to roast anything. I'm also, yes, you guys right, I'm adding my black pepper. All right, so that goes in, and you want to rub your salt, the black pepper, and the oil into your aromatics before you put them into the oven. 30 minutes at 500 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is the highest heat level in my oven using the baking option. And fast forward 30 minutes later, you can see lots of caramelization. When you caramelize ingredients like this, what happens is the textures change, the sugars get deepened, so there is sweetness, and the flavors are also highlighted. So we leave those to cool down all the way before we blend them into our marinade. In the meantime, I am prepping the tilapia. I have quite a few tilapia here, and what I've done is score them so they can take on the most flavors. And then I'm also adding some ginger juice. So I had about a 1/4 cup of ginger, and I blended them up with some water, and I'm just squeezing the juice into the tilapia. This is something I do now that I find really cleans out the tilapia and leaves it with a squeaky, clean, bright, refreshing aroma, all right, and flavor too in the end. I'm also adding the zest of 2 limes. And the lime zest has the citrusy oils, which is what I need in addition to the ginger juice to finish cleaning these tilapia. Most people enjoy tilapia, but not necessarily the fresh water character of it. And this is a good way to kind of eliminate that, to give it a more refreshing, clean end result. So my caramelized aromatics have now cooled down while the tilapia continue to soak in the ginger and lime zest bath. I'm going to soak those for about 45 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to blend my aromatics with the oils as well as a little bit of water I rinsed the roasting pan with. All right, now I need a little more seasoning in here because I have 20 pieces of tilapia. So I've added some homemade all-purpose seasoning, very much similar to your bouillons, like chicken bouillon. You can use 2 cubes or 3 cubes. Add some salt to taste and also more crushed black pepper. Ingredients: some red chili flakes, which will bring us a slight bit of earthiness and sharpness, and also a very decent dose of spiciness or a kick. We remove the seeds from the jalapenos, so we're gonna get slight bit of kick from the red chili flakes. Blend till smooth and you have your marinade ready. So take them out of the bath. You do not have to rinse them, just take them out of the bath. Make sure that you wring out any excess water and place them in the pan head down so they can drain all of the excess water while they wait to be marinated. Okay, take one at a time and you'll notice that all the excess water in there will just drain to the base of the pan they are sitting in. All right, so I place some of the marinade into the belly, into the head. I left the gills in because it's going to keep it moist. This tilapia is going to be traveling to Quanchoa's place, and I wanted to stay moist until it is served. And so what I did was when I cleaned it, I also cleaned the gills really well, and so I left the gills in there. And yes, so make sure that your marinade seeps into the head, into the belly, and all those scoring marks you made. All right, and then we're done. We're going to let this marinate for 1 hour before we grill them in the oven. The rest of the marinade, I'm going to heat it up with some more oil because I will be basting these tilapia as they grill. And your saran wrap or your cling film. For 1 hour, add a little more oil to the marinade. Heat it up. Fast forward. Voila, ready to baste the tilapia as they grill. All right, so that's looking good. Set that aside. All right, so I have some bell peppers. I've added some jalapeno chilies, some tomatoes, and I'm going to pour some distilled vinegar onto these. I've already washed them, but I'm going to do a second washing with the vinegar. Pour as much on there as possible. Make sure that these are very clean and devoid of any unwanted microorganisms. So pour enough of the distilled vinegar and add some water in there. Distilled vinegar is inexpensive and also plentiful, so use it to your advantage. Now the BANKU preparation is here. I pour in my BANKU mix. I have a recipe and it's linked below. BANKU is made from fermented cassava dough and corn dough. All right, and it is cooked into a dumpling. It is soft and pliable and delicious with tilapia that's grilled and pepper sauce. So I add a little salt to it, and on the stove it goes, and you want to stir it constantly until it forms into a soft, very enjoyable dumpling. It is almost cooked. What you're going to do is steam it until it is completely cooked. I have a recipe, a more detailed recipe on how I cook BANKU, linked below as well, so check that out. In the meantime, as it steams, I am going to prepare my salsa or my pepper sauce. So I have some jalapenos, some tomatoes went in, as well as some habanero. I added some onions and salt. Now I'm adding my homemade all-purpose seasoning. You can use a small bouillon cube of choice. Add it to it and cover it up. Because the tomatoes went in first and they're full of juice, I am not going to add any water at all. Once I begin to pulse these ingredients in there, the tomatoes will release their juice, which will help to propel the blades of the blender to obtain this chunky consistency. And then I portion them into 4 spill-proof airtight containers and store them in the refrigerator until I'm ready to set off on the road to Unyawa's home. Intimidating, but one thing I find really helpful is planning ahead. Writing little notes down, making sure you have everything needed, all the ingredients, make sure you have them in your home. If not, write a list down of everything needed, check them off as you confirm you have them. Also, prepping ahead really helps. The tilapia, for instance, since there are so many of them, you can marinate them the day prior. I woke up early in the morning having in mind that the food has to be ready and delivered by 4:30 p.m. So I woke up just in time to make that happen. And one of my favorite things to do is to grill my fish in the oven over a bed of vegetable medley. So I have the Ghanaian flag bean represented here. Yes, proud Ghanaian here. I have red, yellow, and green bell peppers and optional jalapeno chilies, as well as some onions, red and white. Seasoning with seasoned salt. Yes, that gives it more flavor, so why not? Then I'm going to add some of the oil from the marinade and stir it all together to combine evenly. And now we have that bed of vegetables. What will happen is when the heat hits it, it's going to start releasing its own flavors, which is going to be infused into the fish. All right. And it also will release some moisture, steam, which will help cook the fish and keep the fish moist. It is a win-win situation to prepare your fish when being grilled in the oven this way. You will love it. You have to try it. Most of my fish recipes on this channel were prepared this way when grilled in the oven, and it was always a winner. All right, so that's done. The fish is done marinating out of the fridge right now. They're ready to be put into the oven. So I've started preheating my oven at 500 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to be broiling these fish from using the heat from the top of the oven. So at some point I'll have to flip the fish so that that part also cooks. I find that cooking your fish this way when oven grilling helps to keep it moist. All right. So this method has been tried and it's true. All right, so here's my bed of vegetables. Tilapia goes on. Trying to make space for more tilapia because there is a lot. So I need at least 5 of these sheet pan. So I made enough room there. Here goes another one and another. I'm almost done cooking. I am happy. One happy girl right now. Yes. I hope you're enjoying the process. If you are, please don't forget to show me that by giving me a thumbs up. Yes, indeed. Thank you in advance. Thank you all so much for all your love and your support. I cannot say that enough. So there in the oven they go, using the broil option and not the bake. We're going to oven grill these. For the first 15 minutes, they will stay in there undisturbed. And then I'm going to go and remove them and then give them a baste with the rest of the marinade that we have left. All right. In the meantime, the BANKU is done. So I have packaged them nicely and they are going to be stored in the styrofoam container until they're ready to be served after delivery. All right. To keep them nice and warm. So there is that. Now I have some water, ice chilled water on the side, as well as my brush to baste the fish. Okay. Now the ice chilled water, you'll see how helpful that is eventually. It is basting time. So I'm basting with the marinade. And after that, I will put it back into the oven. I won't flip just yet. Now, the basting also helps to keep it moist. It helps to get those almost like grill marks and that smokiness going. So that also helps with more flavor. So why not? Anything I can do to get more flavor, believe me, I will be there. Grabbing onto that like my life depends on it. All right, so there it is, back into the oven. We will flip after about 5 minutes of being in the oven again. So there it is. Now here is where the cold ice chilled water comes in. Dip my fingers in there first. So when I handle the hot fish, it isn't so uncomfortable. Perfect. So now they're going back into the oven for 12 to 15 more minutes to cook the other side. And I'm going to repeat this process until all the tilapia is oven grilled to perfection. And then we'll be on our way to Oniawa's home. Can't wait to see what she has going on over there. I am pretty sure it's going to be epic. Yes, when it comes to bulk cooking, hosting any feast like a pro, Onyawa is a champion. Now, if you agree with me, you need to leave me a comment to that effect. All right, she is awesome. Yes, Quancho West Kitchen. So they're going back into the oven and done. Everything is ready to be packaged now. So I have these travel safe disposable containers, and I'm going to portion the cooked tilapia into it to serve all 4 families. All right. And let's not forget our colorful vegetables. Yes, indeed. And the broth they release to keep these fish nice and moist. Every family gets a decent portion of that. Absolutely. There. Beautiful. You can see the fish is nice and moist and delicious too. Yeah, so the broth goes on too. Again, we want to keep things nice and moist until they are served. Perfection. I am one happy girl right now. My job is done here. Yes, indeed. Transport me right to my happy place. Yes, cooking for other people. Putting a smile on their face through food. Yes, because great cooking and sharing your love through the food you've cooked is one of the hallmarks of humanity. And in a time like this, when the world has been through the most, and turn to food, good food, to release some of that stress. Yes, out and ready to hit the road. The green chili sauce is a lot spicier, as I try to keep everything as mild as possible. So for those who want more spiciness, can indulge in that. I also have my shito gankomi Kenan style. That recipe is also linked below, and that's the black chili sauce you see over there, and it is a gorgeous shito recipe. You have to try it. If you haven't seen that video, please watch it. It's linked below, and it will go so well with this tilapia. Absolutely. So now I'm covering it with the foil sheets to keep everything nice, moist and warm until served. Ready to hit the road, and here we go. Onyawa, here I come. Can't wait to see what you got going on, girl. Yes, yes, and yes. Happy moments. Friends, I really thank you all for joining me today. I hope you had fun. It is chop time, so pull up a chair. We are all friends here. Let's enjoy. We can do this despite the pandemic. I thank you all. Make it a great day and have fun, especially in that kitchen. Bye.